What's up, guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we've got something really special for you. We're going to be talking about one of the finest pistols to ever hit the channel, the Atlas Gunworks Nyx V2. Before we do that, I want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. It's because of you guys I have ammunition to feed this awesome gun. Thank you for supporting the channel, and if you want to join up to the Patreon squad, all you got to do is go to the link in the description and sign up. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter in Ames, Iowa. Those kids could really use your help. It's the YSS, so please go down there and click that link. It'll bring you right to the donate page. Donate a few bucks to those kids. A few dollars could go a really long way. Now, the Atlas Nyx V2 is a 2011 style pistol. 2011s are my thing. I really like 2011s because they give you slightly more capacity than the 1911, which is my favorite gun. I like the ergonomics and I like all the things about the 2011, but some people don't, so we'll go through them here really quick. Now, what separates the 2011 from a 1911, besides the increased capacity, which can be pretty awesome if you can read the bottom of that magazine, is going to be the three-layered system of this slide, the frame, and then the grip there. Now, the grip can be steel, aluminum, or polymer. Atlas Gunworks is a custom company to the highest degree, so they don't really do polymer. This is an aluminum grip. You can get this with either a steel or aluminum frame as well, whether you want a little bit less weight, a little bit more weight. And then you have the steel slide up here, which is done perfectly. The fit and finish of this gun is amazing. The styling of this gun is amazing, and the ergonomics is amazing. In front is going to be an inverted or reverse crowned 4.25-inch barrel, making this a commander style 2011. 4¼ inch barrel and slide there with a standard sized grip. A little bit smaller magazine well on the Atlas Nyx because it's designed for carry. You can get it with a retaining ring if you don't like the mag well also. Comes with a front Picatinny rail here, lights, lasers, all that fun stuff, whatever you want to mount to it. Smoothie maker, whatever. An amazingly done slide release there that you can see is recessed into the frame. Get it out of the way so you don't accidentally hit it. That's really nice. Increased angled safety. I think it's like 45 degrees, something like that. They make it higher on you, so when you're actually gripping the gun, you can see all the extra space there for your support hand, which allows you to control the recoil even better. I like that a lot. It's extended out here on the strong side. However, you can get it however you want. This one has an ambi one. You can get it just left side, or you can get it trimmed down. You can get it whatever you want. Big advantage of a custom shop. Fiber optic front sight. I think it's 140, and then a blacked out rear sight with a plate system for red dots. On here I have the Trijicon SRO, because why the hell wouldn't you? It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, red dot, and we're sparing no expense on this gun, so you might as well. Gepard trigger in here, which is a custom trigger that Atlas puts at something like 1¾ pounds, 2 pounds right from the factory. Obviously you can get that whatever you want, and then they increase the spring to make it a little bit more than 1¾ pounds. However, you can get it anywhere from, let's say, 1½ pounds up to 3 or 4 pounds, depending on what you want. One of the reasons for the 1911 or 2011 style design is so you can get that phenomenal trigger. You're not going to ever find a better trigger than this in any gun, and you can bet the bank on that. Finest gun with the finest gun maker and the finest trigger, that's what you're going to get. Add that to the awesome red dot, and as you'll see in a minute here, you get some pretty phenomenal accuracy. Standard 2011 magazine release, you can screw an extended Dawson pad or something in there if you want. And then we have the new Atlas Generation 2 grip. They come in two different textures. This one's going to be the nice, easy version that won't cut up your stomach, and the other version that comes on their competition guns doesn't have all of the sharp points cut off, so that thing will grip in your hand like you wouldn't believe, but it will definitely be extremely aggressive. So that's one thing you have to remember. Make sure you get whichever grip that you like. The panels here are new. That's really cool. So not only can you increase the size of the mainspring if you so choose. This is the first 2011 grip I've ever seen that is capable of this. Very similar to the just previously reviewed Steyr A2 or the VP9. You can increase or decrease the grip based on these side panels, which is really sweet. You just take the mag well off and slide them bitches in, and you are good to go on that. Really good undercut on the Atlas grip as well, and overall the DLC coating is not only awesome looking but extremely tough. Up here you can see slide cuts to decrease the weight of the slide to the exact amount that Atlas wants to allow for that perfect return to zero on that 4.25 barrel there. What Atlas does is they do a lot of research on their guns, which is why when you see me shooting these guns, they don't look like they recoil, because they barely do at all. They spring this perfectly to around 10 pounds here, and then they purposely do all these awesome cuts here to reduce the weight on the slide, low reciprocating mass, matched with that perfectly sprung system, creates a return to zero that you're just not going to find on any other gun. Now, it's not going to be as good as like their 4.6 guns, which is like the perfect length. They got to reduce the length a little bit for carry, but this is probably the lightest recoiling 4.25 I've ever seen or heard of. So they do a really good job on that. And then, of course, they tri-top the slide as well. Love that look. A tri-top 1911 slide is one of the best looking things you'll ever see. And man, does the front of that gun look mean, huh? Side of the gun looks mean. The whole damn gun looks mean. This looks like something straight out of a comic book or a sci-fi film or something. This is one of the sweetest looking 2011s I've ever seen. So why would you want a 2011? Well, a 2011 has the single action design, so be aware of that. I know most of you that watch the channel are, but you have to remember that it's cocked and locked here with the 1911 2011. So if you do not have the hammer depressed, nothing's going to happen. So you have to have the hammer cocked back, and you carry it with the safety on, and then when you pull it from your concealed carry holster, you sweep the safety, use it as a recoil device. The reason why I suggest that to people is because if you were one of those people that sweep off the safety and then bring your thumb down here, a lot of times either you can accidentally put the safety on, or you will just forget to sweep the safety altogether. If you get used to putting it in your battery of arms, sweeping the safety off and holding it down there, you won't ever forget it, and you won't have to worry about that. And like I said, this big old paddle here works as a really good recoil control device, so why wouldn't you in the first place? That being said, the safety and the controls on the Nyx are some of the best you'll ever see. Extremely positive when they need to be, and extremely smooth. Now, with an overall weight of about 30 ounces and a 4.25 inch barrel, it's obvious that this thing is kind of designed for concealed carry. However, this thing has enough performance to absolutely flex not only into a home defense gun, which would do extremely well, especially with that weapon light, but this is obviously going to be a pretty good competition gun as well, which is what Atlas Gunworks is known for. This gun is made for specific divisions in competition where this thing would absolutely light up. I mean, you can use this in IDPA for sure, and then several other divisions which I do not shoot. But I can tell you for a fact that this, again, if you are looking for a gun for that division, I can almost guarantee this will dominate, because out of all the other 4.5, 4-inch guns that I've ever shot, this thing is on par, if not better. So we'll get into reliability here, and it was 100%. We did shoot 1,000 rounds through the Nyx, because why wouldn't you? Like, if you're gonna pick a gun to do a 1,000 round review, a lot of times ammo's really sparing in 2021, so I have to decide if the video is gonna be good enough, if the people are gonna want a 1,000 round review. With this gun, I just love shooting it so much that I couldn't stop shooting the damn thing. So we shot 1,000 rounds through it, and if this wasn't somebody else's gun, I would have shot a whole lot more. Speaking of that, I want to thank Manning & Sons for sending this in. If I didn't mention it before, Manning & Sons is a big supporter of the channel. They send me in guns for review, and I get to shoot them and send them back. Guns like this I absolutely could not afford to get for the channel, so without Manning & Sons, this review would not be possible. It's going to be really sad to see this guy go once I'm done reviewing it here, but I really do appreciate Manning over there for sending it over. Big up to Manning & Sons. Check out his Instagram. So the reliability on the Atlas Gunworks Nyx was amazing. 1,000 rounds through the gun, no issues whatsoever, no reliability issues with hollow points or any other weird types of ammo. We shot 115 and 147 grain because that's what I have available to me. Even a lot of remanufactured ammunition, which is, it's just affordable these days. And if the gun doesn't choke on that, I'm pretty happy. If it does choke in that, I kind of chalk it up to the shitty ammo. But the fact that it ran all of that with no issues whatsoever, and we did lube the gun up at the beginning of the testing and didn't even clean it through the entire testing. Don't tell Manning & Sons that. But I wanted to make sure that even a custom gun like this could run reliably through 1,000 rounds and get beat up a little bit and get dirty a little bit and still run well. Now, I wouldn't recommend that with your 2011s, but we did find out that the Nyx had no problem with it, so I would absolutely recommend it for carry. That being said, Whoo-wee, is it fast and accurate. These guns are guaranteed at something like 2 inches of 50 yards, which is pretty ridiculous, but you can hit a 6-inch plate. If you can, I should say, if your skills allow that, you will be able to hit a 6-inch plate with this at least 75. If I put this in a bench rest or something like that, I might be able to have gotten further, but this gun is absolutely unbelievably accurate. 100-yard shots all day, and the repeat shots are amazing. The reason for that, as I mentioned earlier, are going to be not only the red dot, but if you didn't have the red dot on it, the iron sights are fantastic. As you can see back there, tight sight picture, co-witness at lower 1/3, even with the SRO, which is a very tall optic. But this Gephardt trigger here is unbelievable. Adam over there is a damn magician when it comes to triggers, which is why I can't recommend Atlas enough. But you can see there, this trigger's set at around 3 pounds, and then the reset, look at that. Not only is it short, light, and crisp, but that thing pushes your finger out and just makes you want to pull that trigger again. Man, what a fun gun to shoot, and fast and accurate is no joke. Now, I mentioned the ergonomics earlier, but let's get into them a little bit further. As you can see here, they do a really good job of smoothing out the rear portion of the gun so you can choke up even higher, and with that safety designed as it is, and with that grip safety removed, you're allowed to get even higher up on the gun to the point to where you consume the whole back portion of the gun, and the slide rides right over your hand, and you can lower that bore axis, control that gun, and get those follow-up shots. Now, another cool thing about the gun is it does use the standard 17-round staccato magazines, and these magazines have lockback, and the gun has lockback, so obviously a lockback on the last round fired. Some of my 2011s do, some of them don't. Usually the ones designed for carry do have last round hold open. The cool thing about this is they use, like I said, STI or staccato pattern magazines, but Atlas makes their own and they tune them for the guns as well. This one is for my Hyperion, but it works really well in this one. And this is a 24-round magazine. You can get even higher round counts than that. So you could use a standard 17-round magazine for your carry mag, and then you could have a 24 or even a 27-round mag as your backup magazine, giving you an awful lot of firepower on tap if you so need it. Now, the Nyx comes with pretty much as many magazines as you want to purchase with it. Being that it is a custom shop, one thing you have to remember with the Nyx is that you don't have to get it all black. You can get it any type of colors you want. I believe they come in several different colors, and you can get it trimmed out any way you like. If you want it all black with a silver trigger and silver controls and a silver hammer, you can do that. If you want a chrome barrel, you can get that. If you want a black slide with a chrome or red grip or whatever you want, you can do that. So that's one thing you have to remember, but every addition that you add onto the gun is going to add cost. Custom 2011s are not free. As a matter of fact, they're probably the most expensive gun you can get into on the entire gun market, aside from maybe long-range precision rifles. 2011s are probably the most expensive handgun that you can get into, aside from like antiques. Custom rifles or maybe something from H&K probably beat it out, but that's going to be the biggest and probably only con with the Nyx. Usually it's availability, but these are pretty available. You can get these right from Atlas Gunworks, or you can get them from Manning & Sons, or you can get them from several other dealers as well. However, the price on them is no joke. The starting cost on this comes in at $5,200, and that is before adding the optic, making this the most expensive gun I think I've ever reviewed on the channel. A lot of people get mad about that, and I'm sorry, but if you had the opportunity to shoot an Atlas Nyx, you would too. Don't tell me you wouldn't. And it's nice to see where the top of the mountain is. That way I can kind of reference what other guns are. I mean, if you're going to shoot a PDP, and that's a really, really good gun, especially for the money. If you've never touched this or a Lago Arms Alien or something like that, you could argue that that's the greatest gun in the world, but it's not. It's just the greatest gun maybe for the money. The Atlas Nyx is going to blow the PDP away, but at what cost? Well, it's about 10 times the price, so you could probably buy 10 PDPs for that. Is it worth it to you? Well, I would argue that most people would say no, but some people would say yes, and those some people have taste, because this is a fucking fantastic gun. But that being said, it's priced so high that most people are not going to be able to afford it, but they don't make guns for most people. They make guns for people who just want the highest quality performance that exists on the planet, and if you're after that, you're going to have to pay the cost. Still a super cool gun. I understand the price is extreme and it's more than almost any other handgun in the world, but if you're looking for a carry gun that can outperform any other carry gun on the market, the Atlas Nyx is really the only way to go. The only thing I could see that would keep up with this would be something like Infinity or maybe a Hayes Custom. just essentially other custom 2011s is pretty much the only thing that's even going to come close to the accuracy, speed, and performance of this gun. What I like about Atlas Gunworks is not only do they make custom guns, they make them run really well, but they can make them in a relatively decent lead time. If you buy from Infinity or you buy from his custom, you can run into some pretty extreme lead times, especially with Steyr and Voigt. You're looking at a year and a half, whereas these you can get in about 3 months or so, something like that. And then if you get Manning & Sons, he often has them in stock, so you get it a couple of weeks. That's the big advantage about going with them. The other thing is that they don't sacrifice reliability, and I like that a lot. From some of the other custom manufacturers I've seen, Atlas is probably overall the most reliable. They make reliability paramount, and so do I, which is why it's the #1 category in my reviews. So if you're going to buy a super, super expensive gun that you could, you know, put your kid through college with and that kind of thing, it better goddamn be reliable. And in this case, it absolutely is. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.